Hey friends, here we go. Just going to do a quick digital meeting today. The reason being, I didn't want to get everybody together when most of you probably already knew all of this stuff anyway. But there are a few things that I wanted to reiterate to you, just so everybody's on the same page as we get ready to go into our season, because we have 1 week until our parent meeting. Like, how cool is that? That means we got 12 days until practice number 1. So before we can have that practice, you got a few things that we need you to do. Okay, a couple things we need to take care of. Number 1 is our alpha weigh-in. Now these will be done next week. For my people that have no idea what this is, what it is like it's a thing that the state put in to make sure that kids aren't cutting too much weight. That has never been a problem for us. For some schools it is, right? But they make everybody follow this rule. So basically what happens is you come to school, you do a hydration assessment, we give you a locker for the year, and then you go home. That's it. Right. So this is the easiest test ever. The only way you can fail this test is if you don't study. And the way that you don't study is by not drinking any water that day. Okay, so come to that test hydrated, ready to roll. You will all be out of there no later than 4:30. If you can't make it to alpha weigh-ins on Monday, okay, you can come in on Wednesday. Or if you don't pass it on Monday, then you have to come in on Wednesday. Now, Wednesday gets a little bit weird because I think it's a earlier release that day. But we will meet after school, no matter what time dismissal is, and we'll meet in Gym A for those things. So I would encourage you, try to be there for Monday's date and try to be hydrated so we can just knock it out and be done with it. If by some strange twist of fate, you don't make it on Monday, you don't make it on Wednesday, you fail both of those tests, you get one more crack, and that's before you practice. So on that Monday, the 17th, if you still haven't passed it, you must pass that hydration assessment before you're allowed to practice, right? But hopefully it won't get down to that, okay? Because you're going to pass it the first try. All right. Next thing on our list is if you see this chart, older wrestlers, you know what this thing is, okay? Younger wrestlers, don't worry about it, okay? If you are thinking about dropping a weight class this year, when we do that alpha weigh-in, you have to be within 8 pounds. I'm sorry, you have to be within 8% of the weight that you are actually going to on alpha weigh-in day. So let's say that Susie Smith wants to wrestle at 105 pounds. Okay. When we do our alpha weigh-ins, she needs to weigh 114.1 or less, or she's not going to be able to wrestle at 105.1 or 105 pounds without a doctor's permission. Okay. Now, if you are a beginning wrestler, you've never wrestled before, or this is your first year, and you're likely not going to be a varsity wrestler for us, forget about everything I just said because it doesn't matter to you. Just show up and wrestle what you weigh, right? But if I were going to be a heavyweight wrestler, and another example, and I wanted to wrestle 235 this year, if I weigh more than 255.4 during my alpha weigh-in, now I have to go to a doctor later and get what's called a weight loss permission form, and that is a pain in the butt. So I want to make sure that I'm below this weight when we do our alpha weigh-in. Okay, now if I came in, I'll give you one more example here and then we'll move on. Let's say I wanted to wrestle heavyweight and I weigh 237 pounds. I'm probably going to try to go ahead and get that weight off before we have our alpha weigh-ins. Because if you can get that weight off now, and then I make 235.0 or less, and I'm hydrated at alpha weigh-ins, I don't have to certify down the road. So for anybody that's thinking about dropping weight, if you can make the actual weight class on the day of alpha weigh-ins, holy cow, that's going to make your life a lot easier. So I would suggest that you try to do that if possible. And again, younger wrestlers, don't worry about it. Okay? All right, next thing on our list is wrestlers or returners. When we have that day where we do our alpha weigh-ins, if you could bring in any of the old My House singlets that you have, so like the ones that we ordered last year that have your names on them, if you have one of those, go ahead and bring it in so that our new wrestlers can try it on and they know exactly what size they are in case they decide to order one down the road. Now, I would tell you it's going to be really easy for us to get those back to you because it has your name on it, right? So if you have one of those old timers, please bring those My House singlets with you. Okay. Next thing on my list, first day of practice, the things that you're going to need. You're going to need all of your physical paperwork turned in. Okay, and I'm going to send an email here right when I get done recording this that has everything you need. But it's like your concussion paperwork, your physical paperwork. Hear this, new wrestlers. If you don't have this, you cannot practice. Not only is it against the rules, it's against the law. Okay, so I'm not bringing the law for anybody. So make sure that you have those things turned into the athletic office, and please do that absolutely no later than next Thursday. Because if you wait until Monday, if you're missing a signature somewhere, then we got to track down mom, have her come sign the paper before practice starts. So at least on Thursday, by Thursday, have that stuff done. And you don't turn that into me, you turn it into the athletic office. Okay. Not the main office, the athletic office. Okay. If you don't know where that is, ask an older person. They'll be able to tell you. Okay, you need to have a pair of wrestling shoes. You do not want to be slipping around in sock feet. Okay, I would suggest go to Play It Again Sports, pick up a pair there, talk to an older wrestler that might have an extra pair that they can loan you if you don't have any yet, or pick up a cheap pair off Amazon. I bought a used pair of shoes off of, I think, Zappos like 4 years ago for $30, and they still work great for me. You don't need to spend a ton of money on this. Okay, you also need athletic gear for practice. So you need to have like t-shirt, shorts, or leggings, something like that. No zippers. Try to avoid pockets if at all possible. Definitely no buttons and zippers. Okay, you need to bring your own water bottle. If you have braces, you need to bring a mouthpiece, and that mouthpiece needs to cover both the top and the bottom or wherever you have braces. And technically, you don't have to have those for practice. I would strongly suggest it. Okay, but you do have to have that for competition, so you might as well just go ahead and get used to wearing one now. Okay. Next up, we have a required parent meeting. Okay, on Wednesday, the 12th, that is 1 week from tonight at 6 p.m. Okay, and I forgot to write 6 p.m. on there, 6 p.m. All wrestlers and all managers need to be there, and you need to have at least one parent with you. You don't have to bring your whole fam, right? But everybody needs to be represented, and everybody has to have at least one parent representing with them. Okay, it's going to be in that design think room where we were last year. It was a smaller space, so I would suggest get there a little bit early if you want to get a seat. Okay, last year we had some people that had to wait out in the hallway because it was so tight in there. But it is important that you're there because we got some, man, I am just beyond excited about some of the stuff I'm going to do with y'all this year. We've never done it before. We're going to have a new look on a lot of things. Okay, and you guys are going to be on the front edge of that. And I'm super excited to talk about it with you, but we need your parents there as well. Okay, so do not miss that. If you have work, to get somebody to cover. Okay, if you have a church thing on Wednesday night, Jesus will forgive you, right? Knows that this is important, right? Knows that this is a part of your development as a human being. So be at that parent meeting. Okay, it's important. All right. Next thing on our list, this is your last chance. Get out there and recruit. Okay? Get out and recruit other kids to our program. I'm not just talking about you older wrestlers. I'm talking about you younger wrestlers. All of our freshmen that are coming out for the first time. Man, what a great opportunity for you to bring your friends along with you on this awesome adventure that you're about to go on, right? So get out there, recruit some kids. And if you get people that say, well, I'm thinking about joining, what should I do? Here's what they do. They can either join the Google Classroom using this code, and you can pause this and like show them this code or write it down or whatever. Or the easiest thing probably to do is just have them send me an email. Okay, once they send me an email, then I'll be able to add them into the Google Classroom. That's the easiest way to go about it. But start recruiting. And when you do that, I would strongly suggest that you really reiterate to other kids that are going to have self-doubts about doing this because they've never done it before. They're not confident in their body, or they're not confident in their athletic ability or in their toughness or whatever. Just remind them that you belong here. Okay, every single one of you belongs here. Everybody that we bring into our program belongs here. And together we can do something really freaking special. Can't wait to see y'all again. It will be Monday, like 5 days from now, Alpha Weigh-ins. Love y'all, and we'll see you next time.